All right, everyone, let's get to that first big story that came up in the Morning Blend.
So first, guys, join me in this. Guys, share the feed right now. I'm doing it. We got so many people to share it yesterday. The conversation was so robust, and it really helps us have a great conversation about these things. So first story we have is a video of a Sacramento man. He was being arrested after the police say that he left his car idle and he was playing really loud music in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven. We see the video right there in the background, DJ, if you want to get close up on that so they can get a good look. And while it could have resulted in a ticket, the police say that the man refused to talk to the officer and that he wasn't cooperating. So the officer tried to arrest him, but not because of the idling car. Instead, it was because he was resisting arrest. Okay, we have a soundbite there that explains the officer saying you can't walk or leave it running unless the brakes are set, because that is what the law says. The video is under investigation and the police say that they're looking into the arrest. But guys at home, I want to know if you think that it's illegal, if you knew that it's illegal to leave your car idle in a public space.
I mean, I don't think it's smart.
Yeah.
I don't think it's smart. So I think if you were to ask me, did you know that it was a law that you could not? I would say no. I didn't know that it was a law. I just think it's dumb if you leave your car idle and go somewhere. Of course, someone's potential to steal it is very high. But in terms of law, no. How about you?
Well, as we were discussing this morning, and I wanted more clarification, and I clumsily, as I'm talking about weather, clumsily shouted out, "Wait, we need to know more about this." As Adiane was pointing out, this is what happened. This is what other people are saying, clearly displaying that there's still a lot of debate about this. And so of course, I was intrigued, so I did my research. It's pretty unclear on exactly how this goes down, because a lot of what you'll read is that, it's surprising. Did you know that it's illegal to leave your car running? A lot of that focuses on leaving it on in a public place, and a lot of that was passed because trucks might be on the side of the road, say on a highway, on an off-ramp.
Which is public?
Right, which is public, yes.
Right.
Interstates or a state highway system. And they'll be, say, on the shoulder, and they're sleeping in the cab, and they leave their trucks running all night long.
Okay.
So some of it started maybe in that direction, but it morphed into you just can't have your car running endlessly in a public space. But for a private space, there seems to be a whole bunch of local jurisdictions where maybe in some towns they have a problem with car theft. If you live in a cold climate, say like Michigan in the winter, and people start up the car because they want to defrost, they want it warm when they go in, that's an opportunity for thieves to steal a car. So there's some very local specific laws that even in private property, even in your driveway, it can be a citation, but not necessarily something that you would arrest somebody for. So I think we got a little confused about the arrest being related to the leaving the car on versus clearly they're scuffling. And for that, we all know whether that's private property or public, you can be arrested if you're scuffling with an officer.
So I want to show you guys the law.
Why do police care if your car is idle?
It's an unsafe situation, but I want to show you guys the law that we're talking about. Chrissy, let me know if you have it to pull it up. I can talk you guys through it. It states that if you're in charge of a car, you cannot leave it unattended on a highway. And people were saying, well, this is clearly not a highway, but highway is a broader term used to speak to a public space. And so this was seemingly a public space, but technically it's not. 7-Eleven is a privately owned business. And so as a car parked in a privately owned business, you wouldn't think that this law applies to it. But in the story that Madison Wade did yesterday, who's one of our weekend hosts, and she's also a reporter for LNT, she cited this law as being the one that was in question. And so we're looking at this, and people, as they're learning about the story, are wondering, well, then I just don't get it. Because a lot of people linger in parking lots.
It's good. I think we need to keep pursuing it, and I'll tell you an example.
Okay.
Let's just say that you are on 7-Eleven property, right? So now they're choosing, well, now this is public property, and you can't leave your car running. Let's just say there's some incident at 7-Eleven and the property owner doesn't want you there. All of a sudden, you can't be on here. This is private property. So it's sort of choosing which way you want to look at it versus what's going on at the scene. I'm not clear on this at all. For example, let's just say that you have an automotive shop and you're running cars. You're trying to diagnose things. That's private property. The car's running. You're not in it. Is there an exception for that?
But
probably.
That's their business.
Right.
I'm sure they have some sort of...
It's very unclear. I think it started off as the car was running, the music was loud,
But that's not why he was arrested.
Right, exactly. But that started the confrontation with the officer and the individual, which then escalated into that.
So would he have been arrested if he didn't cause a ruckus?
Maybe just, if he didn't cause a ruckus, I think he would just have gotten a warning. Okay, the 7-Eleven, is that on a gas station area? Was it near a gas station?
Attached to a gas
station? In the video, I can't really tell.
Because if it's near a gas station, that is a huge reason why you don't leave your car running. Because first of all, gas is flammable. So when you have your car running, you run the risk of blowing up potentially the 7-Eleven, the gas station.
And that
so
plays
I don't
up
know
to my question of why. Like, why would they care? Because it could harm. If you leave a car idle and you're in a gas station and then you could potentially blow up the place, I could see why places say don't leave your car idle. So, but if it's just on the side of the road, I just don't know why that. But I guess
Sean Vaughn is saying he never knew, or this is a female, she never knew that it was a law. A lot of people are commenting, you didn't even know it was a law in the first place. And so a lot of people are questioning what other little local laws are there in California that you don't know about, but you could get pulled over for. So we're going to do some research and get back to you on that. But if you have any more questions on this, comment, let us know how you feel. We're going to move on.
Thanks for watching us here on the ABC 10 Information Network. If you want to see more stories just like this one, click subscribe.